Yo, AT here, BOR Leclerc, and today it is the round 16, I believe, of my BRL League Race and Highlights, today at Brazil. Now, basically, we had to restart the whole thing because of a yellow flag glitch, so this is why we're doing one-shot qualifying here instead of the usual qualifying format. And this is basically my best lap. Well, my only lap because it's one-shot qualifying. So, as you can see, not exactly the bestest of laps, but we are doing pretty well. As you're about to find out, we'll go purple in Sector 2, which is good, obviously, because obviously that means we're obviously doing better than everyone else in that sector at least. So hopefully now we can get a good exit out of, there you go, purple. Hopefully we can get a good exit out of the final corner, launch it up the hill, as F1 Ben retired from the session, so no time from him, otherwise I probably wouldn't get as high up as I did. So now DRS open, just run into the finish line here and across the line, and as you can see I've got pole position, which is pretty damn good. It was only my second pole in League Racing. There's the margins, not much in it between the top three. And now we go on to the formation lap and we pull away, just trying to get heat into the tyres, obviously. And now I'm going to show you the championship standings after the last race. So they're going to come up on the screen about now, would it be? Yeah, here we go. So as you can see, leading by some distance. Now, basically, the permutation is if I win, I'm champion no matter where Bottas finishes. If I'm second, he's got to finish fourth. If I'm third, he's got to be sixth, and so on. So now we're going to cut to the start of the race, and 5 lights are on, and now we pull away. Bit of a delayed reaction. I was about to make a joke about Bottas's Austria start from real life, but oh well. And we run a bit wide here, taking a bit too much curb there as well. And as you can see, Ed021 is now right on the inside, going side by side into turn 4. And because obviously I'm in the championship fight, I just thought, you know what, just let him go, because like, there's no point fighting if it's going to result in me losing a front wing or something. Just like do what Alan Prost would do and just think about the points you can gain from your current position. So just think about the points that I get from my current position as we now begin lap 2, and Ed is already pulling out a bit of a lead, but not to worry, because I believe BOR Bottas, my tyre rival, is in 4th place at the moment, being held up by Ben, who is on medium tyres. So as things stand, I am still championship winner if the race was to finish in this state. So now we're going to go on to the end of lap 2, and as you can see I've closed in on Ed a bit. Maybe his tyres have started going off worse than mine. As you can see, I'm on 29% fronts, 25 rears as I set the fastest lap of the race. Excuse me. And now DRS is enabled, so now it's a matter of trying to get a good exit out of the center S's to get decent speed, which as you can see I didn't do. As you're probably going to tell from the highlights, I was a bit twitchy about, you know, the steering and the throttle input and braking input throughout the entirety of the Grand Prix, because I was so busy thinking, oh, I could wrap up the championship today, that like I wasn't driving to my usual high standards. Well, high by my standards. I know there are folk out there that have higher standards than me, but still. Anyway, so as you can see, lap 3, we're right behind Ed. We take a bit too much curb there, which compromises our launch. Now on to lap 4, and we are purple in sector 1. Nearly went into the back of Ed there, who braked a bit harder and earlier than us. And as you can see, Ben is still holding up Bottas. And then at this point, the rain had started by lap 5, which is why I completely cut that chicane there. And I go on to the intermediate tyres here. And as you're about to find out, I might have gone on the inters a bit too soon, because of the fact that when I come out of the pits, once I'm out of the pits, you'll see that F1 Ben has jumped me position-wise, and he was quite a way behind us before I pitted for inters, so I lost a lot of time. As you can tell with this, ooh, that was close. Not quite. I don't think there was any damage there, but we don't want to do that again. Which, as you'll see throughout the rest of the highlights, with every pit stop, I may come extra cautious coming out of the pit lane because I don't want to lose a wheel or anything. So now on to lap 7, and it's going to be pretty tight between me and Bottas coming out of the pits, because as you can see with the mini map at the bottom left hand side of the screen, he's just coming out of the pits and I've just come out ahead of him. But as you can see, Ben, he is long gone as I run a bit wide there, lucky not to get a warning. Now on to lap 8, there's a yellow flag up ahead, and as you can see it's Butterlord who is currently getting lapped, and I believe, no, I couldn't quite see what tyres he was on because people were saying he was doing these conditions in the medium tyre for some reason. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Now on to lap 9, as you can see, getting held up by Butterlord to put Bottas all over me as we now go down the second straight, and as you can see Bottas having a little look, but he decides not to go for it as I now run extremely wide there. It was taking me a while to adjust to the braking point for the wet weather at turns 1 and 4. Just taking me a bit of time getting used to it, as we have a little bit of a twitch there coming out onto the main straight, which could have been very horrendous if we actually crashed like Fernando Alonso in 2003. And you see, running wide again, we just can't get the braking points spot on through turns 1 and probably, as you're about to see, turn 4, as we're on lap 10. No, we're not going to see it. What we're going to cut to is Butterlord getting lapped again, and as you can see, guess he is on medium tyres. I don't know why he's on medium tyres there, but he is. And this time Bottas has got a run on us and he's taking a position. I wasn't going to fight him too hard because there is a long way to go, and you never know, he might get a penalty or he might spin in these tricky conditions. Anyway, I tried to get a good launch to come back at him because he was a bit slow coming out of the first couple of corners there, but as you can see, he still pulls away a bit despite the slipstream, and I brake considerably earlier than him just because I didn't want to go into the back of him. And now we have a safety car. I believe this is because Butterlord had an incident of some sort, and now we're going to get ready for the safety car restart, and you're about to see some weird shit go down, because as you can see, Ed is in the lead and now all of a sudden his car's upside down. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but something happened, and I'm not going to complain because I gained a position out of it. And then, as you will also know, I'm behind Firebird because I did pit for a fresher set of intermediate tyres, trying to do what I did in Japan and also learn my lessons from Silverstone, where I went too long on the inters and punctured my tyre. That's what happened at Silverstone, where at Japan I actually won the race because when there was a safety car period, I pitted for a fresher set of inters, which did me until the dry period, by which point I was able to jump quite a lot of people there. So lap 15, as you can see, we're almost at the halfway point, and still a lot to play for, and thanks to the safety car. And Firebird nearly spins out off of the rear of Bottas there. I'm not sure what actually happened there because obviously I need the onboards from Firebird and Bottas there, but I believe basically Firebird went for a gap that wasn't there, is what Bottas told me afterwards. So as you can see, Ben going not slow, but he is starting to form a little trolley train, as we would say back in the early 2000s. And now we go on to fuck, where am I? Still getting used to this YouTube thing. Yeah, final corner on lap 15, and I believe Bottas then pulls off an overtake on Ben along this section here because Ben didn't exactly get the best of runs. Bottas getting a wheel on the grass there, which could have ended fatally for him. And then Ben doing a Schumacher v Rubens Barrichello and pushing Bottas right up to the wall, which would not have been good. And finally we're getting the corner right there for the first part of the Senna S's. And now we're just having to lift off a bit there because back end tried to swap on us, so we lost a bit of time there. Luckily Firebird is far enough behind us to not take a position off us, and yeah, we mucked up the thing there, as has Ben, because now Bottas has taken the lead. Now this is critical, because if the race was to finish this way, Bottas would only be 10 points behind me in the standings. So as you can see, Ben then lets me through, which I don't know why he did that, but he didn't have to do that, but I'm glad he did do that, because that now enables me and Bottas to fight to the finish line, because for some reason me and him had quite a pace advantage over quite a lot of the other competitors, with the exception of Ed and maybe Ben. Now this is annoying because it's the dry tyre period and Bottas has pitted the same lap as me. So I'm now going to get held up like a fucking whore in the pits. See, look at all that. Look, all the cars breezing past as everyone pits for mediums. And then my pit crew take 5 fucking years to start changing the tyres. So horrible pit stop. Ben's jumped me and so has Firebird. So we've got Ed behind us still though, so that's not too bad. And now all of a sudden it says Ben's behind us. I'm not sure what happened there. He must have had some nasty lag, because he came out of the pits ahead of us, as you saw there, and then his car disappeared into thin air. So as you can see, taking it a bit easy on the pit exit, because obviously the pit exit will still be wet in places, unlike the racetrack. As you can see, the next few laps we chased down Firebird, got within DRS and breezed right past him, setting the fastest lap of the race in the process. And now obviously he's going to get DRS on us here, so we don't want him to come back at us, so I focus all my effort on getting the cleanest exit. And as you can see, we've pulled out some distance from him coming out of turn 3. So obviously now we're purple again, which is weird because it didn't feel like a good set. And as you can see, lap 26, and we're still making small mistakes, but then Firebird has retired from the race. I'm not sure what happened to him there, but as you can see, like, safety car is now out, so obviously we're going to have to slow right down again. As you can see, I'm pitting for another set of mediums, as you're about to see, but Bottas, and more importantly Ed behind us, both go onto the set of softs. At which point I was like, shit, because I thought, like, obviously the soft tyre is quicker, and by the time the safety car comes in, see lap 30, it's not like the soft tyres are going to wear out much. So upon the safety car restart, as you can see, I'm a bit behind Bottas, but he starts slowing down to let the safety car shoot off ahead. And then as you're about to see, I get a jump on him on the restart, because as soon as the green flag comes, I get right alongside him. Look at that, I started going just as the yellow flags were still out. And now I've got to run on Bottas here, because I thought if I can get ahead of him and hold him up until his tyres go off, then I could get the win. But as you can see, he muscled me out a little bit there, which is good on his part, because that way he takes the fight to the final round in Abu Dhabi. And as you can see, Ed is right behind me. So now we're lap 31, and now on to lap 33, within DRS range just of Bottas, because DRS has only just been enabled. I go purple in sector 1 apparently, and now we're going through this right left-hander here, which is turn 5 I believe, now on to turn 6, and now you're going to see a slow motion replay, because if you focus on the left rear mirror, we almost got wiped the fuck out. Look how close Ed comes to wiping us out after he loses the under braking. So he just misses us there. Like, I do not want to know how close he was to, like, wiping us out, because if he did, that's it, kaput. So now we're going to go back up to full speed, and we're starting the final lap just within DRS range. Now, I'm not sure if Bottas's tyres had gone off or something, but for some reason we were able to keep with him despite being on the harder compound. As we go through turns 2 and 3, and now we're going to open the DRS, and now we're going to cut to the final corner. As we come around the final corner, and I believe we're going to win this race, because Bottas told me he had a penalty. And now if we have a quick look at the race results real quickly, just to confirm the win. Yep, there's the win. Now what about the championship? Yes, I am champion. That has confirmed me as champion. confirms me as champion. 27-point lead basically means it's impossible for him to catch me into the final race. I'd like to thank my teammate for being such an awesome teammate, pushing me all the way to the end. It's just a shame that we couldn't like take it down to the wire, but shit happens. Yeah, I am champion. He did put up a fantastic fight to take it this far. He's congratulated me and said that I was a good teammate that pushed him to the limit. So it's only fair that I return the compliment, which is what I've just done. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already for more League Racing content, and I will see you next time.